So hello everyone, welcome to Mondays. This is PartyWipeGames, and we're starting a brand new game. It's called Mass, A New Generation, and this game is called We Can Be Heroes. If you guys think that title sucks, you can tell me.
I like it.
All right,
We
good.
can be heroes.
We can be heroes, it's true.
We're
And,
supposed to be
and
heroes.
it's weird because it's like I don't have that like shitty rock song in my head when I think about it. I actually think of like the Shira opening, but instead of it being like we can be strong, it just goes we can be heroes or something.
Yeah.
But and then you guys like strike action poses and stuff like they do in the intro. But whatever. It's a really catchy intro. I'm off topic because I'm nervous about running a new system. I'm sure it'll be fine. Hi, I'm the Dungeon Master Rendis. I've been doing RPGs for going on 20 years now. Can you tell by my nervousness and scatterbrained? Um, I am also the co-founder of PartyWipeGames, along with a couple of other people here who are joining us. And we'll go ahead and give everyone a chance to introduce themselves since this is a new game. Tell us what you're all about, what you're into, things that you might want to promote for yourselves. If you happen to have your own Twitch channel and you are just sitting in and playing with us on this channel because you're awesome. Looking at you, Saint Guard.
Would you like me to start?
If you like.
All right. Hello. My name is St. Guard, a variety streamer, sometimes GM of tabletop role-playing games. You can find me playing something on twitch.tv/Saint Guard. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at St. Guard. That's using with the LY at the end. Do you want me to say who I am playing today?
Yeah. Let's tackle all of that at once.
All right. Today I will be playing Arena, real name Parisa Zarkan. She is a 17-year-old of Persian descent. She is a protege. She's the protege of Steel Gunner, real name Shinobu Arrington, who is one of the heroes of Halcyon City. Though they are more of an anti-hero that came out of the Bronze era, the Bronze generation. So they're a bit more about beating down villains to prevent crime than like saving people to prevent crime. They're in that school. They're in the 80s, 90s school of superheroes.
That Bronze Age where everything's gritty and dark and death.
Yeah, exactly. So she's trying to wrestle with that as well as like being a student and not wanting to be a little bit less of the I'm just gonna go around punching villains in the face type of thing. But yeah, that's Arena.
All right, next up. Anybody can do it.
Would you
Hello,
like to go?
I am
All right.
Shay. I am part of Party Wipe Gaming. I am playing Zoe, whose mask name is Azrael. That's all I got.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Rez, also co-founder of PartyWipe Gaming. I will be playing Hummingbird, also known as Amelia LaRussio. She is a Yanis, so her secret identity is very important to her. She goes to school, she has a job, and she has parents, and she has to juggle all of those and being a superhero. And we'll probably see her fail at all that. But it's the journey that's important.
Das Journey.
Hello, I am Ark Survivor. I don't really do any Twitch things
Besides with us.
besides with you guys and Forgebreaker. And today I'm playing Liam Taylor, no superhero name.
He's just the Liam.
He is just Liam.
The Liam.
I mean, if that's what you want to call him, go ahead.
I mean, it
The
might,
Liam
it,
is
it,
here.
It might be now that you've given me the option.
who is the Nova archetype, which basically means he doesn't have full control of anything he does with his powers. So that'll be fun.
That'll be fun. Alrighty, well, I think that's everyone. So I will stop stalling and get us started, because all of our announcements are out, too. Great! So, oh, sorry, that was a stretch. I'm ready.
Are you?
Yeah, that stretch just felt really good.
All right.
It was one of those when you're like, everything just limbered up there. Great. So, welcome everyone to We Can Be Heroes. This is our opening scene, and like any superhero movie, comic book, TV show, it's going to start right in the action. The camera is positioned in a nice skyward view. It's a beautiful sunny day in Halcyon City, probably early autumn, so it's still warm out. The pedestrians make their way about the cities, and the camera drops down over the large, modern-esque, futuristic looking skyscrapers and buildings. There's probably like a giant maglev monorail that passes by, showing the technological prosperity that is Halcyon City. And as the rail passes by, it passes over a statue of a superhero of the golden era, probably something along the lines of like Captain Miracle. It's a, broad-chested, wide-shouldered, handsome, chiseled jaw individual with a cool dual-caped flapping in the background, and it's a nice large granite statue of him in a heroic flying pose. And the camera drops down into the city. A couple of cars pass by as it moves through the streets, passing through the pedestrians, and giving you a general look of an everyday life of the people milling about in the city before it settles across Halcyon First National Bank. And you see a van pull up, and inside of the van, on the side of the van, it reads something along the lines of like, Jacqueline's flower delivery company, some nondescript flower company thing that makes it look not suspicious at all, but would totally be suspicious when you're looking at it from the perspective of a TV show or a comic book, because when the camera pans into the driver's seat or the back room view of this van, you see a number of figures putting on dark ski masks and loading up assault weapons, and 5 of them get out of the van, leaving a 6th in the running van, and they make their way up the steps and into this building. And the camera cuts to the inside of the bank where everybody's doing a nice transaction. There's probably an old lady up at the teller counting off some pennies before the rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat of gunshots fill the air, and everyone screams and hits the dirt, and one of the individuals jumps up onto the counter and says, "This is a robbery. Everybody's gonna hand over their money. You're gonna unlock the safe and put everything into the bags." And he takes out a big burlap sack with dollar signs on it, and they start passing it around and basically dealing with everybody who's inside of the bank to start rounding up their money. They're strong arming the tellers. One of them probably rifle butts the elderly security guard who's got like a thick pair of sunglasses and a telltale mustache that's graying on the sides, and he goes down and he's like, "Oh, I'm not used to this kind of treatment," before he kind of lays down and doesn't fight back. That was an Easter egg. Nobody reacted. Oh.
Yeah. I didn't want to interrupt your scene.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
sorry.
Everybody reacts to the Stan Lee cameo. Aw.
Oh.
On a roll.
I was,
And then
okay.
you're just like, there's a cameo here. It's like, you
Sorry.
can react afterwards.
Sorry, I wanted the reaction. Okay. Yeah, and so the security guard goes down, and they go about doing their task of robbing everybody, and once they're in the process of doing this, we're going to start with our Yanis Hummingbird. You would have been the first on the call. What were you doing when you got the alert that Halcyon First National was being robbed? And how do you get onto the scene?
I was. What time of day is it?
It's probably early afternoon. After
I
school.
was. Yeah, I was heading for my job as a waitress at this kind of cafe
Mm-hmm.
place. Very, very small. You could very easily walk by like 10 of them, just going down like a main street in
What's
the
the name
shopping
of the, What's the
district.
name of the cafe?
But she hears the call, and I assume we have like some sort of communicator.
That's probably how we got the call.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah,
Thanks to my
I would imagine that Arena had the hookups for everyone. And I will also put down this information, if it helps anyone's decision making, that you don't have to arrive on the scene individually. I'm just kind of giving everyone a chance to, describe their own dramatic entrance, whether you're dropping in as a group or, arriving all one at a time. So you don't have to treat it like you're by yourself. You could be just, I'm infiltrating the back door while they're going in through the window, that sort of thing.
I think by now, everybody would probably figure out that Amy very much kind of rushes to the scene. She probably provides a pretty good like distraction for people who want to slip in or kind of come in after everybody's attention is on her. So when she gets the call, she kind of like looks at the communicator and then looks at her watch, and she's like, okay, I could probably have enough time for this. And then she runs for a building so that she can like find a place to change. And it's that dramatic moment where she like kicks open a door and like runs through it and is like pulling on her costume and is like hiding her school bag. And then she goes over to a window that kind of overlooks the bank, and she opens the window up and she kind of hops onto the windowsill, and then she jumps out the window, and as she's falling, she kind of spreads her arms out because her costume, while it looks like it's like really, it looks like it's like a Halloween costume that she kind of just put together with like old bits of clothes. What it does have that's really, really nice is there's actually like a glide. There's like, I forget what I called them. Where's that?
Squirrel Girl.
No, she's not Squirrel
Girl
Girl.
doesn't fly.
It's a wingsuit.
Yeah, it's kind of like a wingsuit, but it's only on the arms, at least for right now, because superhero technology, etc., etc. So she spreads her arms, and then she kind of like swoops up at the last second before she just immediately pastes herself on the ground, and then just kind of like zooms in to the bank and like kind of goes in through the front door, and then she does like a flip, and then she kind of lands, and then she kind of looks over all the bank robbers. He goes, well, typically there's no dress code for taking money out, but I think you guys are in violation of it. And then that's me.
And then from above you hear, ha!
Which leads us into our next character. So the camera would pan over and give us a view of Asriel. Asriel, how do you enter the scene?
So I was probably off graffitiing angel wings somewhere, like in my picture for fun. When I saw um when I saw Hummingbird run by, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And so I kind of follow along. I'm somewhat fit enough that I can move quickly and follow her enough. And I probably once she goes out of sight, I quickly duck around somewhere and get my own mask on. Mine's probably a like a dark conforming kind of suit so that I can move easily, um, and maybe show off a little muscle just to try and be intimidating too. Um, and there's like some kind of a little bit of like trailers that kind of just like look like wings when I jump, but don't serve any functional purpose otherwise. But I follow her in, and I follow in through like an upper window and just get onto like one of the upper rafters, and then that's where I say hi.
Okay. And then let's do Liam. What about you? What's your dramatic entrance into the Halcyon First National?
Liam is probably taking the monorail when he gets the call.
Monorail.
References.
And so there's just a comedic scene of like 5 cutaways of what other people are doing, and him just sitting on the monorail waiting for it to get to the next stop.
Just come on. Yeah, there's probably like one of those display screens that says something along the lines of East Grove Avenue, arriving in 2 minutes.
Thought this was supposed to be the city of the future.
Yep, it's all teleporters and tubes. Alright, so you're stuck on the monorail. Got it. And then lastly, Arena. How do you come in?
Arena was she was in the team's hideout, lifting some weights, and then she gets the call, and she has a frown, puts down the weights, jogs over to basically what looks like a garage, and there we have the transformation sequence where she puts on her mech suit. Basically, it's it's like a bulkier. It's not an Iron Man suit. It's not quite that like sleek. It's it's a little bit bulkier, but it's still about
So it's like an early War Machine one where that was all just hard angles and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's
like power armor from Mech Assault.
Yeah, exactly. It's very power armor. And it's spray painted in contrast to her mentor's armor, which is steel, as befits his name. Her armor is a like the same color as a gi, so it's that kind of white color. With black stripes.
Okay.
Like 3 black stripes going over it. And she just like she does the kind of like the boxer thing that boxers do with their boxing gloves, where she punches her hands together, but there's like sparks that come off.
Yeah, you do that pumped up punch.
Yeah, and she heads towards the bank, and it transitions from her leaving the transition is she goes out, the garage door opens, and there's like a bright light, and she walks out, and then when you see her again, she's entering the bank in this power armor.
So how do you enter the bank then?
She kicks the doors open and just walks through the front door.
Just dramatically kicks in the door. Okay.
Yeah.
So then.
Before she kicks in the door, can there be like a short scene where like the robbers are like, "Oh, what are we supposed to be scared of you?" And then Hummingbird's like, "No." And
Well,
then the door
yeah,
kicks
I was
open.
gonna say, since that's gonna take a bit of time, since Liam put himself on a bit of a timer. I'll say you going directly from the headquarters will also take some time. So the two who will be on the scene right away will be Hummingbird and Azrael. But we have some things to establish before we begin. There's some things we got to cover. And, help me out if I'm doing it wrong, but I think we need to do the team pool first.
Yes. So we start, because at the start of each session, we automatically start with one team.
Yep.
Pool. And then
I should make a token for team pools, is what I should do.
Yeah, it's team and influence are the two things you need tokens for, and pretty much nothing else.
Yeah. But, I mean, you guys can keep track of your own influences on your sheet. I just realized that the team pool doesn't really have a thingy, but I'll work on that. But for right now.
So, for those of us, as this is getting set up, for those of us who don't know, what is a team pool?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Team pool is a thing that basically you guys will pull together additional resources based on some criteria. Largely, you guys have access to this team pool for the entirety of the session, but whenever you go into big conflicts against bad guys, there'll be a series of questions that will either add or detract from your pool of resources, because this is a drama type of game. So yes, there will be stuff that takes away from your pool based on what's going on.
The horror.
I know. And basically, a team pool stuff is a reflection of you guys literally coordinating and working as a team. So if, say, somebody rolls and falls under their target number, I think spending one of the team pools is like a +1.
It's essentially the help mechanic of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you assist people.
But you can also choose to spend it selfishly and benefit yourself. But then you have to describe, what your selfish action is that doesn't help the group, and you literally just steal the resource from the entire party.
Yeah.
Which, always has actions and consequences.
You are a dick.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, yeah, because, sometimes, that's part of the thing, is sometimes you don't work together because you're in conflict for one reason or another. So I'm trying to find where the team pool starts, the information on it, so I can post the questions.
It's under peripheral moves, under team mechanics.
Peripheral moves. Team moves.
When you enter battle against a dangerous foe as a team, add 2 to the team pool, and then there are the points under them.
So, did we designate a leader? I think we joked that Arena is the de facto leader.
Yeah.
I would say they are probably the de facto leader, yes.
Because they have the place.
Yeah. Well, it also doesn't have to stay that way for the entire thing, if they prove themselves unworthy and blah, blah, blah. Or you guys can, shift who's the team leader based on what operations you're doing. Like, it's like, oh, it's a stealth mission, so Hummingbird should be the team leader for this one. That sort of thing. And you can, also be in conflict where you guys, don't agree on who you think should be the team leader. Like, if Liam decides that Arena is a bitch and I don't want to follow her lead, then, you all wouldn't be unanimous in deciding that they're the leader, and so that wouldn't apply. So the question was, if the leader has influence over every teammate at another team, does Arena have influence over everyone?
Nope, I'm missing one.
Missing one. Okay. Next one is, if everyone... actually, let me ask this instead. Hummingbird, what's your purpose going into this fight?
To protect everybody and deal with the bad guy.
Okay. Let's keep it situated to
simple?
one. So,
okay,
keep it simple. So, protect everyone? Protect everyone inside the bank?
Save the civilians.
Okay. Azriel, what's your purpose for the fight?
Probably stop the bad guys.
Okay. And Liam, when you get there, what is your purpose for the fight, in the fight?
Just stop people from getting hurt.
Okay, protect the people. And Arena,
Save the civvies.
save the civies. Alrighty, so we do have one person who's not on the same purpose, so we don't add a team there. Hummingbird, do you mistrust the leader or the team as a whole?
No.
Azriel, do you mistrust the leader or anyone or the team as a whole?
I mistrust everyone except probably not Amy.
Okay. And so, Liam, do you mistrust the leader or the team as a whole?
No, they haven't given me a reason to not trust them.
And Arena, do you mistrust anyone or the team as a whole?
I don't mistrust myself currently.
I mean, you could though. You could have some serious doubt.
I could, but I currently don't. And we're a team.
Yeah.
Gotta trust your teammates.
Alrighty, so I do have to subtract one team pool because there is some mistrust within the group. If your team is ill-prepared or off-balance, remove one. I'm not going to say you guys are ill-prepared. You all knew that it's coming. You had your introductory setup to get going. The leader of the team can mark a condition to avoid removing team from the pool. Do you want to mark conditions to keep that removed team
I'm not
point?
going to do that, but I do have a move that's applicable to team mechanics.
Oh, let's hear it.
Captain. When you enter battle as a team, add an extra team to the pool and carry +1 forward if you're the leader.
Nice. So I will tack one back on, and you have +1 forward. So just remember that you've got that.
Alrighty.
All right. So Hummingbird and Azriel are the first to arrive onto the scene. There are currently, what did I say? Five? 5 guys went inside, one in the car?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 5 guys went inside, one in the car. I'm going to write this down because my memory is always bad when I'm juggling scenes. 5, 1 car. All right. So, Hummingbird arrived through the back. Azriel's up on the rafters. So between the two of you, you have a number of actions that you can do based on this. How do you guys directly want to handle dealing with this? I'll give you guys the opportunity to start this up with some basic moves. Also, we have a thingy. What just happened? TSE Epic is now following. Hello, TSE Epic. So, you see that there are 5 in total, all armed. 3 of them are busy collecting money. 2 are standing watch over people. It doesn't look like they've noticed you yet. So I'll go Hummingbird first since we started with you. I'll jump to Azriel. I'll let you take the opening action. How do you want to go about handling your aim for stopping this threat?
Okay.
Azriel first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, me?
Yep, you. Because I let Hummingbird start.
So they're currently focused on her, right?
Did you announce yourself? I might have missed that.
I announced myself with a clever quip.
Okay,
Azriel laughed.
Then yes. Actually, that's a good point. Since you did that, might I suggest, Hummingbird, that you try to provoke someone?
Sure. So I will. So
To
I have
provoke
a
someone.
1. Yep, I roll superior.
Yep, roll plus superior. And so, provoking someone susceptible to your words, say what you're trying to get them to do, and then roll plus superior.
All right, so my aim is probably to get their attention off of the civilians, and I know some of my friends are probably either here or on the way.
Yep.
So it's kind of like to set them up to get blindsided.
And by all means, give us the dramatic taunting again.
Oh, all right. So she kind of like zips in through the door using her wingsuit, and then she flips to her feet. That she says, "Normally, there's not a dress code for withdrawals, but I think you guys are breaking it." And then in her head, she goes, "Yeah, that was cool."
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Good job. All right, now go ahead and roll for me.
Oh,
Oof.
I missed.
All right. So,
Big goof.
the way this works, guys, because it's the first session, so I'm just going to cover everything. On a 10 plus, they would have risen to the bait and do what you would have wanted. On a 7 to 9, they can instead choose an option. And then when you miss, it doesn't tell me what happens when you miss.
You as a GM make a move, and the person who rolled it gets a potential.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and mark your potential, and then I'm gonna make my move. Yeah, because it didn't say anything on my little GM cheat
A lot of
sheet.
For most of the GM stuff, like, it's if you get a partial success or you fail, you just like make a move, and usually if they fail, you make a hard move. You make something that's more concrete than if
Yeah.
partial
It's just I had a GM sheet and it didn't lead to anything that said that. Or sorry, I was looking at the moves and it didn't show any failure stuff.
Yeah. There are only a couple of moves that have like a fail, like that say on a miss do this.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's just like it's up to your discretion as a GM.
All right, so I need to go back and find the list then, because I don't think this needs to be a hard move. I think this just needs to be a move against you. So where's my list?
They just insult you and keep doing what they were doing, not even slightly
Moves.
distracted.
I found it. Here's my moves. All right, softer moves versus harder moves.
Just don't say the name of the move. Just say what they do in response.
Oh, okay. I got it. So you make that witty line, and the two that are standing guard immediately lift and raise their guns towards you. It very much looks like they want to be hostile, but instead of pulling the trigger and firing on you, one of them reaches down and grabs a little old lady and says, "Nice try, but if you try anything funny, the old lady's brains are going to be splattered against the pavement. Linoleum. Because we're inside. Shut up, I'll kill her."
I wasn't saying anything about your inability to
And
know
he pulls
the
the
difference
trigger
between
and
building
blows her
material.
brains out. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but he pulls up this lady and points the gun directly, like the muzzle up against her head, and he's like, "You can try anything, you know, the old lady's gonna get it." And the other guy has his gun trained on you. Asriel, would you like to do something as the scene continues to unfold?
Yeah, I'd like to leap down from where I am and have like a shimmering translucent sword appeared in my hand, and I want to chop off the guy's arm who's holding the gun to the old lady.
So you would like to unleash your powers. Sounds like. So when you unleash your
Yeah.
powers to overcome an obstacle, reshape your environment, or extend your senses, roll plus freak.
Oh, I was hoping that would be danger.
Freak.
Nope. You're manifesting the powers usually is like how cool it
I mean,
looks.
She is directly engaging a threat, is she not?
I can see either
I mean,
It is. It's my power though, so I mean I'm gonna roll it.
Yeah. It could be either.
Yeah,
I'm just-
okay. No, yeah, I see what you're... Well, the thing about directly engaging the threat is more of, like, you directly fight the person. She wants to immediately chop his hands off with a manifested power, so
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
that was my
that's fine.
reasoning.
Both.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. It works. What is-
the trade off is directly engaging the threat. Is if you miss, then you're going to get hurt for it.
Do I get a situational bonus or penalty?
No.
No
No
she's
sneak
only
attack.
asking because every time you click on a label roll, it
Yeah.
asks you
Oh.
if you have anything.
Saint, is there something in regards to that?
No, usually that only it's only applied if you have like +1 forward or something along those
Okay,
lines.
yeah, only if you have
Ah.
the forward. So then no.
Okay.
Full hit,
Oh!
nice.
Damn.
So, on a hit, you do it. If you rolled a 7 or 7 to 9, you would mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary. But you got a full hit, so you come down like the Dark Avenger that you are, and you manifest this blade. Tell us what it looks like when you come down and you sever this guy's hands at the wrists.
So I imagine like the camera is just kind of like facing them as they're making their comments towards
Hummingbird.
to Hummingbird, and I'm just there's just like this like little dark silhouette that's just like standing up, and then like you see like the figure like start to run, and
Well,
the
you
camera-
don't get to narrate all of that, but
Okay.
what does the sword
But-
look like when you come down and
It's just I'm using my my psychic construct thing, so
Mhm.
it's just like I just imagine it as like a translucent like
Is it like
temporary
a-
blade.
is it like a Templar blade? Do you actually like manifest a full-on spirit sword? Like,
I'd say more like a spirit sword. You know how and what is it
or is it
in
like
Fate,
a?
the guy who could just summon weapons.
Mm,
You could just summon Excalibur.
yeah, I was gonna say, since you have like an angel motif. I've never watched Fate, so I don't know.
It's stupid. The ending is all the endings are stupid. The
Mm.
whole story to it is stupid. It's
That's fine.
horrible.
But I was gonna say, like,
But I
since
like
you
the
have
power.
like the angel motif going, does it look like a cool angelic longsword or? But either way, you manifest this spirit sword, and you come down, and as he's threatening this old lady, you just see the camera like zooms in and takes one of those like dramatic comic book action frames as you see the hands being severed where he's holding the gun, and it's like that mid frame motion where like the hands are flying up and his wrists are down, and you see like the little spiral of blood, and then it comes back and you're dramatic posed at his feet. Do you have a cool line to drop for chopping his hands off?
Only cheesy ones.
We accept those.
This is a superhero game. There are no bad one-liners.
Cheese is good.
Yeah, cheese is great.
Unless you're lactose.
Also, Ren,
Yeah,
while
sure.
I'm on the train, I'd like to start charging my powers.
Sure. I'll get to that.
Threat disarmed.
Conditions.
The old lady stifles a giggle and like does one of the things where she just like kind of covers her mouth with her hand. All right, so yeah, we'll pan over to Liam since he can't wait and needs to charge his powers up. How does your powers look when you're charging them up inside of this? Probably not like Chicon packed bullet train, maglift train, but it's pretty crowded. Probably like a late day New York subway kind of crowded. How does it look when you're charging up these powers?
I imagine that it's like a slight breeze ruffles his clothing and hair, and his skin starts to glow.
Color does it glow?
Probably like a light bluish color, like
Hold
something
on.
like that.
It's not on even on the spectrum. All the people who see just instantly go insane.
Next car.
I
Next
mean,
car.
I mean, you're playing the Doomed, not him. He could have had Cthulhu powers if he wanted, but
Yeah.
oh man, that would have been fun. Just have like
I should have done
my
that.
Doomed is the King in Yellow. That's my powers. I just make people go insane. All right, so you start flickering and powering up, and because this is Halcyon City and it's a place where superheroes have existed for decades, most of the people aren't really bothered by it, but they do give you a bit of birth
Like,
there.
why are you doing that right now?
No, not even that. They're not. They know what superheroes are. They just know that you're doing a power thing, and they are giving you, several steps back to do it in case you don't have full control because they recognize you're a teenager. But you flicker up, and you start glowing blue, and you're powering up, and the little display overhead says arriving at the station. 1 minute. And you're just kind of like flickering on and off, trying to power
use my
up.
move.
Okay, what's your move?
Move.
You're going to use your move?
Yes, I'm going to teleport to the scene.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so? All right. So that's what you rolled to manifest there, is to
No,
teleport
I
in?
rolled to manifest my burns.
Oh, okay, you're rolling for your burns. Okay, yeah, make sure you're calling that stuff out. So you're rolling to manifest your burns, and so
I get
tell us what
3.
happened. Tell us what happens when you do that.
So I don't imagine it exactly like a teleport, but more like.
I mean the mechanics. I mean the
etherealness.
mechanics wise for setting up your
Oh,
burns.
so this is I roll conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so if I had any conditions, I'd add that on.
You
On
roll
a
plus
hit, I hold
conditions.
3 burn. On a 7 to 9, I mark a condition and hold 3.
Mm-hmm.
On a miss, I hold 2 burns and mark 3 conditions, so it can be dangerous.
And so, for the people who don't know what burns are, what does that do for you?
It's what the Nova's powers are based on. They are usually it's just side effects.
Yeah, it's like your own resource pool too, right?
It's a resource pool, so I can do the move, my different abilities.
Yep. Alrighty, so let's kick off this teleport then. How does the teleport look? And then go ahead and attempt to do it.
It's not an attempt. I just
No, you just do it? Alright,
burn.
how does it look when you burn through it?
I imagine it's more like he goes full ethereal. Instead of just glowing slightly, he goes slightly transparent. That light blue color.
This is the
Just-
most toned down Nova I've ever heard of. Alright, cool. So you shimmer out, kind of like you shimmer out and then you shimmer back in. And do you have full control of where you appear? Does it say?
You can. It says to move to any place you choose within the scene, breaking through or slipping past any barriers or restraints in your way. Spend a second burn to move to any place you've previously been.
Okay, so I'll say you materialize outside of the bank because you wouldn't know what was going on inside.
Yeah.
So you materialize right at the top of the steps of this bank, and as you do, you're hearing the ka-choom, 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 heavy footfalls of Arena coming up behind you. And so this will be when Arena arrives on the scene, and I know you wanted to go through and kick in the door.
Mm-hmm.
Do the two of you exchange words beforehand?
Yeah, she looks over to Liam, just like, sit there. Anything? When'd you get here?
Now.
Good, let's go. She just runs over the door, just BAM! Kicks
Alright.
through the door.
Would you say that would be directly engaging a threat? Or do
Is
you
the
want to
door-
do it to be provoking?
Is the door a threat to me?
I mean, it could be. No, I don't imagine
No.
it would be.
Then yeah, I could be.
Or do you want to kick in the door and then proceed forward? I guess.
I want to kick in the. I mean,
Like,
think
what's
the
the-
door would be intimidating, but-
What's the
I don't
intent?
know.
What's the intent for your next action? Do you want to like freak people out, or do you want to kick in the door and then start beating the shit out of people?
I don't know what the situation inside the bank is currently. So
Would you like to kick in the door and then assess the situation?
Yes, that would
All
be
right,
great.
that'd be a good option.
That'd be fantastic. I'd
All
love
right.
that.
So, without like I can't decide for you, but in my head, I'm hearing you kick in the door and then trumpets go off as Arena enters. But go ahead and assessing the situation. Go ahead and roll plus superior.
Yeah. Oh, and I have +1 forward from this because
Yes, you do.
Cat's in.
And so for when you guys want to assess the situation, that's basically getting the recon stuff done. When you land a hit on the 10 pluses, you can ask 2 questions. On a 7 to 9, you can ask 1, and you take +1 while acting on the answers that you receive.
Yeah.
So
All
go
right,
ahead and
let's-
roll for me.
That's an
That's a
8.
8. So you can ask 1 question.
I get to actually ask 2.
Right, you have the forward because that brings you up to a 9.
I have. Be mindful of your surroundings. When you assess a situation before entering into a fight, you can ask 1 additional question, even on a miss.
Ooh. So okay, so the forward doesn't really help, but you have a thing that makes it better. I like it. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and would that let you ask 3 questions on a hit then?
Yep.
Awesome.
On a 10 plus, I can ask 3. Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
All right. So, biggest question. What here is the biggest threat?
Probably me.
You have like a HUD display, I imagine, for your power armor, and it does the thing where it starts marking out in red all of the dangerous people, marking out in like blue or not even blue, probably like in gray, all of the non-hostiles, the civilian people, and then in blue your allies. So you see that Hummingbird and Azrael are there, and as it's marking out in red, it starts landing over various people, but there is one henchman amongst all of them who is probably like a foot taller and probably like an extra 50 or so pounds beefier, and he's got like a big shotgun instead of the automatic weapons, but he's like menacing people up on one of the stands that you would use to write out your checks and stuff. But when you kick in the door, he kind of turns and looks at you, and he like beats his chest threatening with the shotgun, and he's like, "I'm not afraid of you."
My other question is, what here is in the greatest danger?
I mean, Azrael dropped in on the scene and chopped a guy's hands off, so I guess I can't say the henchman, but well, the old lady's
Definitely
not.
the henchman.
I mean, the old lady's not in danger anymore. That guy got disarmed.
What about all the other people in the bank?
The other people are definitely in danger. Actually, I would say probably the most immediate danger. Like, all of the civilians are in danger, but since this was all happening at once, there is a gun trained on Hummingbird.
Ah, okay. Arena's just gonna be like, just looks at those guys, you should be, and then she's just gonna dash. She's gonna dash for that guy. Dash for the guy who's has a gun trained on Hummingbird and just ram into him.
Okay. And so directly
Hummingbird
engage...
goes woo woo.
Yeah,
directly
so
engaging that threat.
go ahead and directly engage that threat. When you directly engage a threat, you will roll plus danger. On a hit, you'll trade blows. 10 plus, pick 2 of the things on there. On a 7 to 9, you pick 1. And so...
All right, let's do it.
So you have the options.
13.
Ooh, wow, full on hit.
I'm going to resist or avoid their blows.
Okay.
And I am going to impress, surprise, or frighten my opposition.
Yeah, I imagine that happens. So as you bull rush this guy, he turns, and I imagine since you're trading blows, he probably starts to open fire in your direction. But how does Arena what's the word? Resist or avoid the shots being taken at her with her armor?
She dodges a little bit of it, but because she has hard light constructs, she just like her left arm, she like brings it down, and a hard light shield comes up, and it blocks some of the bullets, and she just rams into this guy.
Great. And so you knock this guy in, and I think as you barrel into him, do you continue with him, or do you just hit him and stop?
I'm gonna keep using my momentum. I'm gonna use use my momentum and my hitting him to pivot and go towards the big guy.
Okay. So you shoulder check this guy, and everybody who's there sees him double over, roll, crash into a giant potted vase. It shatters. The dirt falls on his head. He's clearly knocked out. The big guy up on the thing takes a moment and pauses, looks a bit dumbfounded. I'm going to hold you there because Hummingbird hasn't had a chance to do anything in a while. So, Hummingbird, you just saw Arena jump in and just go to town on a guy, and the big guy up on the stand looks very intimidated. The man who was threatening the old lady just got his hands chopped off. What do you do next?
Wow. That is crazy. I say as I look at all of the basic moves that I can do.
Just say what you're gonna do. What Hummingbird do in the situation?
Yeah,
Figure out
what
the
so
moves.
so alright, so Arena is charging off at the big guy.
Yep.
Alright, so how many other so one thug's down, two thugs are down.
Two thugs
Big guy.
are down. There are 3 remaining, so 2 are busying themselves, or would have been busying themselves with collecting money. Now everybody's, like, all of the thugs' attentions are turned on you guys. Now that this dramatic entrance has been made, so there would be 2 behind the teller desks that had been opening up the safes and filling money, but now they're like reaching for their weapons and paying very much attention to all of you.
Okay, does any of them look like they're about to attack someone in particular?
You can assess the situation and find out.
Alright, I will do that.
So go ahead and roll plus superior. That would be a
All
hit.
right.
And so your question would be, who would be
who is about to get like shot at or something?
you can see that the 2 behind the counter look like they're about to raise their weapons and just fire in the general direction of Azrael. And there are a number of civilians between them and her.
Okay. All right. So seeing that, and she's gonna see that with like her early warning system. So she's gonna yell, "Get down!" to Azrael, and then she's gonna start running over to the thugs behind the counter, and then she's gonna launch herself over to them, and she's gonna try to kick their guns away and defend Azrael.
Okay. So when you defend someone or something on an immediate threat, or from an immediate threat, roll plus savior. For NPC threats on a hit, you keep them safe and choose one of the following. On a 7 to 9, it costs you. You'll expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation.
Yep, okay. And so everyone knows, my mask embodies Savior. So when I'm Hummingbird, my mundane goes into my Savior.
Cool.
So you're rolling money.
Kapow! I like how it just says kapow.
Kapow!
Is that for like... Oh, I was like, is that for like a super crits when you roll really well? Alright.
It's when you get above
Maybe.
12. Or no, it's when you get, yeah. Just do
Above.
really.
When you get 14.
Just
Yeah.
do the thing. Alright, so that means you
I get to choose one. I
Yep.
keep them safe.
You can
and
add
I
it.
get to
You can
choose
add
one.
a team to the pool. You can take an influence over someone you protect, which would be Azrael, or you can clear a condition which you don't have.
I'm gonna add one to the team pool so that I can kind of set someone else up. Yeah. So, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Cool. So you said your direct action was to try and disarm these guys. So how does it look when you parkour in and try and...
So she runs and she jumps off of something, probably a teller desk, and to get over the counter. And she has that moment where she kind of spreads her arms to glide a little bit, just to kind of get the distance properly. And then she lands in front of both guys, and then kind of like grabs their guns, and then yanks them to either side, and then just kind of like has them smack into each other.
Mhm.
And then when they kind of stumble back, she throws the guns backwards over the counter where they can't get them.
Okay. So yeah, you pull their guns down, you throw them back up, their guns go flying, they scatter off to the side, they look a bit surprised and shocked. Azrael, she just disarmed these guys before they could do any real harm to you in the crowd. What do you do for next on your actions?
So when she was doing that, I did like duck as she jumped over me, and then after that, I kind of follow up behind her, and I would like to grab both their faces and drain their life.
Cool. All right. So that's a power to unleash, I imagine. Yes.
Yes.
Alrighty. So how does your powers and manifest work as a doomed?
That is one of the one of the
Doom
three
sign?
abilities I have. No, it's
Mhm.
not a Doom Science. So I'm
Not a
not
Doom
tacking
track?
anything on.
Sweet.
It's just Vitality Absorption. So, I guess it's kind of like Rogue,
Mm-hmm.
when she does her thing.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna,
You'll
I guess
unleash your powers.
yeah, my sword just kind of shimmers and disappears, and I just follow in behind her after why they look surprised and try to drain them both.
I mean, this might not even need a roll. Like, they can't resist or anything. It just happens.
Does it just happen? She doesn't have to make sure her powers don't go haywire?
I mean, unleash your powers specifically, overcome an obstacle, reshape your environment, extending your senses. I don't think she's doing any of those.
Okay.
I can
Hey.
I can roll if you want.
The book does say that some things you do are you like fighting someone that's you're just so above in weight class, like you don't have to roll for it because it's just not a threat.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
with
They can
Humming,
still pull
no,
off
no,
knife,
no,
yeah.
no. With Hummingbird disabling these guys and throwing them off balance, I think that is a perfectly valid reasoning. So yeah, you latch on to the two of these guys and you press your hands into their faces. And what does it look like when you drain their life force? Then
How much am I allowed to drain?
I do not get to decide that.
You want to kill him? You can kill him.
I do not get to
probably
decide
won't
that. That is your character, and you probably hear, since we haven't had a chance to talk about it, I'm just gonna go ahead and decide what it sounds like, but you hear a voice in the back of your head that goes, all of it.
I drain all of it, but I'm thinking, get the fuck out of my head.
Yep. So what does it look like when you drain these guys of their life essence?
There's like dark mist like around where I'm making skin contact, and then they just dehydrate rapidly.
So is this like directly onto the faces? Are you grabbing them around the necks?
Right on the faces.
Right on the faces. So Hummingbird and probably a few unfortunate tellers, you guys see basically like the I think like the Raiders of the Lost Ark is a good example of this, where you see the guy like or no, it would be Last Crusade, where the guy shrivels up, rapidly aging as she's draining all of the liquid out of them, and you're just seeing them shrivel up like a raisin. You know, they're not rapidly graying, but it's just that kind of like all of the muscle and meat and moisture in their bodies shrivel up to the point where they're just a withered husk, and the two of them fall over dead. And there's probably a number of collected gasps. Liam, you're outside. All of this action is starting to happen, and you're rushing inside to join the fray. You are right behind Arena as she steamrolls one guy, and Hummingbird has helped take out two guys with Azrael, but the big intimidated guy on the table is still a threat, still has his weapon drawn. He looks quite unnerved, but he hasn't acted on anything yet.
Okay, I want to use my telekinetic abilities to try to pull the gun out of his grasp and just destroy the insides.
Mm-hmm.
All the mechanical bits.
Okay. And so that one needs a roll, does it not?
I mean, sounds like it.
Sounds like it. Let's unleash those powers.
Jesus
Christ, guys! You guys are doing amazing. This is awesome. This is a great opening scene. Yeah. So what does it look like when the gun yanks out of his hands and he looks even more dumbfounded and confused by all of this? You pull it free and it's up in the air. What happens when you use your powers to just demolish this weapon?
I imagine like the barrel turns to one side, like when Haggard bent the Dursley's gun, and it just starts crumpling into itself and sells like a ball of
just a paper
mismatched
ball.
junk.
Okay, and so he kind of like looks, and he's just like, I didn't even want this money anyways, and he like starts to hop down from the table, and he's trying to run for the door, but of course, Liam, you're there.
Would that mean I'm directly engaging?
That is up to you. Do you want to try and stop him?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to... Yeah, I'll spend a burn to do Reality Storm.
Oh, okay. Tell us what Reality Storm is and what happens when you use it.
Yeah, that sounds like a little bit overkill.
It does,
Oh.
and that's why it's hilarious.
Okay.
Tell us about Reality Storm.
Reality Storm allows me to use Freak instead of Danger for directly engage. And if I use 2 burns, I can actually not cause collateral.
Oh, not cause collateral damage. All right.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right. You did robot for a second though, so if you do what to not cause collateral damage?
Spend 2 burn instead of 1.
And how many were you spending?
2.
You are spending the 2? Okay. Are you sure you don't want to live dangerously with your awesome rolls?
Well, no, because if something's gonna happen.
It would be when
And
you
it's
do
rough.
something called Reality Storm. Okay, go ahead. So you spend 2 burn to make sure you don't kill anybody accidentally. Yeah, see? You had nothing to worry about. Alright, so what happens on a full hit? Did the music stop? Is everybody
It's
here?
It did.
Huh.
it's still directly engaged. It's just I'm roll and Freak stat instead of my Danger stat.
What's it look like?
Yeah,
do
what
you
does it
do?
what does it look like? Gotta tell us how cool it looks.
So Liam is not a big, intimidating person. He has almost no physical power.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of using his telekinetic power to try to overpower this guy and get him to stop, essentially pinning him to the ground with his mind.
Okay. Yeah, so the storm of energy pins this guy down, and you said your manifested color is like a bright blue, right?
Yeah, like a cyan.
Yeah, so this cyan blue color just surrounds the guy, and he's lifted up and slammed down, and he's held and restrained. I think I need to do a thingy, because there's a thingy that I have been keeping track of and nobody had paid attention to. So I'm going to make a move.
What do we see?
You are going to see that the driver moves.
I was waiting for it.
Yep.
I was
The-
gonna wait until it was all done and then look up at everyone and say, "Did anyone get the driver?"
The sound of full throttle engines comes up behind Liam, and the van has managed to get up the stairs and is attempting to run Liam over through the big bank doors. So what I need is, because I'm playing something against you, so I need you to roll. What would he roll to dodge this?
I mean, he either if it's a case
Take
of
a
if
powerful
he can,
blow.
Yeah, it would be take a powerful blow, wouldn't it?
yeah, if he's getting hit by the van, then yes.
Yeah, you're just getting steamrolled. So we're gonna take a powerful blow because we need to demo at least all of these basic moves once in this first session. So go ahead and roll plus your conditions.
Full hit.
Oof!
Oof!
Oh! Oh no!
All right.
Just levitates it.
Yeah. So, well, no, this is
Bullets are
bad.
not good.
This is bad. Making a hit is bad. You want to roll low on taking a powerful
This is
blow.
the one move you
Oh,
don't want to roll good on.
Yeah.
Full hit.
Yeah, so
that's
you guys see him body slam this guy with his powers, and everyone's like, thank God, the trouble's finally over. And then boom, it's the Mean Girl scene. Liam is hit full on by the van, and he goes tumbling. You can take one of the options to either remove yourself from the situation, flee, pass out, etc., which would obviously be pass out as you're getting hit by this, or you can lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way.
Or
With the Nova,
Or?
I think
Was
you
there
can
or?
do two options. There are you can choose two options from the 7 to 9.
Oh, or you can choose two options from the 7 to 9 list. You're right. Thank you. The 7 to 9 list is you lash out verbally, which doesn't really apply here. You give ground your opposition,
fuck
gets an
you,
opportunity.
truck.
Yeah, fuck you, truck. You struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions, which I think would probably be the one where you could, if you're like, I avoided it, like you could lash out verbally and take 2 conditions, I would say. Would be the most valid for this, or you could have your powers lose control or get knocked out from getting hit by a moving vehicle.
I think with the Nova, lose control of the powers makes the most sense.
Alrighty, so
Oh
I'm
God.
gonna say when you're hit by this truck, your Nova Storm has its backfire to where it's not safe for the other people, so you'll have that collateral damage. So what happens when your Nova Storm goes bad and can affect everybody?
It just says if you do, you will cause unwanted collateral.
Okay, so it's up to me. Cool. So, yeah, you get hit by this van, and your Nova powers basically go haywire. And I think what it looks like is instead of, you go flying when it hits, because you have your powers manifested, the van collides with you, and you see it crumple around Liam. But then there's, the blast and surge of energy, and everybody in the bank, including all of our heroes, are gripped by the reality storm, lifted up really high into the air, and then slammed back down onto the ground really hard. And so everybody just gets throttled and rocked, and for supers, it's probably not a serious thing, but there's groans and cries of pain from the civilians. Nobody dead, but it's a really shaking moment where all these people just get tossed about, and there might be a couple of broken bones. Grandma probably broke her hip.
grandma.
But the sound of like the van's horn is going as the guy who collided with Liam, is face planted into the steering wheel, not realizing that Liam's a little more durable than he expected. But otherwise, the scene is wrapped up because you guys took out these criminals to more or less a nearly perfect effect.
But at what cost?
But
It was going so
Your
well.
grandma's in the hospital now.
Yeah, grandma's in the hospital now.
It's your grandma.
Oh no. Graham. Yeah, Uncle Ben was on his way to go make a deposit, and because I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, so that is the wrap up of that situation, which means we have to do another thingy. Also, I need to get the music rolling again. Hold on, because I do not like this silence. Play. Boop. There we go. I'll fix the rest later. So with the end of that scene, I'll have this down better as we're figuring it out. But
At the end of that scene, the cops show up.
yeah, at the end of that scene, the sound of sirens and the several squad cars appear. There's probably like 4 squad cars, a big SWAT van, and then an equally large and imposing looking Aegis van pulls up. The Aegis agents don't really get out, but it's more that they know that your team was on the scene, so they're making sure that there was no weird extra collateral damage, and they probably approach Arena first as the police officers filter in, start rounding up the living culprits, and like a paramedics team shows up to make sure the brutalized robber doesn't bleed out, but he's not looking good. The 2 Hus have to get bagged up, but there's probably more paramedics filtering in as they start taking account to all the injuries that might have happened. But there's an individual from Aegis. There's an individual from Aegis that is there, talking to the 4 of you. They are an older African American gentleman. His hair is cut short. He wears a pair of sunglasses, and he's in a nice. I'm gonna break away from the G-Man tradition, but he's in a nice gray suit. It's a gray suit with a gray tie, and he's probably got like a light blue undershirt with it, and like one of those little folded up handkerchiefs in the thing, and there's an Aegis badge in the breast pocket there, and he's introduces himself as Agent Johannes. He is clearly not American, which is why a black man can have the name Johannes. Fight me. But he introduces himself as Agent Johannes from Aegis. You all are familiar with Aegis. They are basically like a government-sanctioned force to make sure that the supers and the supervillains are playing relatively nicely. And they're like the civilian arm to make sure that, the non-supers' interests are in things are protected. But he's getting the report from you guys and going over all of the collateral. And as he's talking, he's just like, well, I imagine this was all a very cut and dry situation. It looked like you all had it handled under control pretty nicely. Not sure what happened there at the end and why everybody got so banged up. You want to elaborate on what happened there?
Well, agents, as you know, we are still in... Some of us are still in... all of us are still in training, so... I won't say these things happen, but these things happen.
These things happen. He kind of like writes it down. He's like, that's something Steel Gunner would say too. He kind of gives you a knowing look. He's like, Steel Gunner said that a lot too, but usually we had more body bags afterwards.
I imagine they would still say that.
I imagine he would. But I hear good things about you, though, Arena. You're trying to not be as destructive. And I would imagine, looking around here, you more or less have it under control. But can't seem to not make sure that people aren't dying. He kind of glances over to Azriel. The gentleman isn't going to be able to get his hands back, by the way. Or, sorry, he doesn't say gentleman because it's a fucking criminal. He's like, the culprit is not getting his hands back, by the way.
I'm sure he can pay for his own prosthetics.
I don't even think he'll be able to manage that. Your slice cauterized the stumps right at the source. He's got no nerve endings there anymore.
I can put him out of his misery if you want.
I would prefer you didn't, and
Whoa.
he gives a very hard look at you. I would prefer you didn't kill humans. What would be the correct term to use for like non-soups? We should make one up. What would be the word they use, because that wouldn't be politically correct. Let's make it up right now. What would be the word for non-supers?
I mean, they would probably just call them people, and they would only give the designation to supers.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, okay. He would say, yeah, you guys would be soups, and regular people would just be people. He go ahead.
The book uses capes and hoods. Capes being heroes and hoods being villains.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
No capes. Sorry.
No capes.
Oh, that could have been a cool title too. Oh well. Capes and hoods is a really, really cool sounding one, though. All right, let's use that. We'll use capes and hoods for heroes and villains. But at the mention of putting him out, he gives Azriel a very hard look, and he says, "I would prefer you didn't go around killing people. That's hood talk. You're not going to become a hood, are you, Azriel?"
Don't intend to.
Good. Because Cape's job is to protect life. Don't let people like Steel Gunner or I'm gonna make up another name here because I need like a guy who's kind of like the crazy knifey dude from My Hero, and he's like, don't let people like Steel Gunner or the Crimson Falchion lead you astray. Vigilante work is not accepted around here, and killing people is a very dark path that'll lead you very far astray. And I want to do a cool move that I can do where he is going to... where is it?
Are you shifting her labels?
Yeah, I want to do the thing where he's telling her the way of the world. What is it called?
It's shifting her labels.
Is it just shifting her labels? I thought it had a cool name.
It probably does, but that's what it is in the end.
Yeah, he's gonna be. I'm trying to find it now, just so I can do this correctly. But yeah, he's gonna try and shift your labels, basically by telling you the way the world works, because it's like I'm the adult, so here's me talking down to you, and basically the way it works is like you can accept what he's telling you and certain things will happen, or you can roll to try and reject it and then another set of things will happen. And so I'm trying to find it. GM cheat sheet.
It's using influence.
It's in the peripheral moves.
It's in the peripheral moves.
When someone with influence over you tells you who you are or how the world works, accept what they say or
That's
reject
it,
their
how the world
influence.
works. That was the term. Peripheral moves, you said.
It's under influence. If you accept what they say, the GM will adjust your labels accordingly. If you want to keep your labels as they are, you have to reject their influence. And rejecting their influence, you roll 2d6, flat 2d6.
Yep.
And what are labels again?
And so basically, by default,
You're-
adults, anytime an adult is telling you what to do, they have influence over you because you're young heroes who care about what the adults say because you're young adults and you want to impress people. Only when you reject it is when you're like, fuck you, Rage Against the Machine, type of deal. So your labels are the various stats. So it would be your freak, danger, savior. They're all marked here on your character sheet. So do I have a specific list of the ones I shift, or do I just choose?
You just choose one that you shift up and one that you shift down, because it's always one up and one down.
Yeah. Okay. So I think he's going to try and shift your danger down and raise your savior up, because he's trying to give you the lecture of what a good super or what a good cape should be, and that the way you were acting is very hood-like and dangerous and not for the well-being of the normal people. So he's going to be trying to promote your savior and talk down your danger, but you do have the option to resist it.
I kind of feel like this character would resist it because,
And that is
part of
completely
their-
fine.
yeah, part of their doom track is to not be merciful.
So when you reject someone's influence, roll just a flat roll. It doesn't say if there's any
Flat 2d6.
All right, yeah. So you'll just roll a flat 2d6. On a hit, you'll successfully hold yourself and tune them out. On a 10 plus, you can choose 2 options. On a 7 to 9, you'll choose 1. Clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift 1 label up and 1 label down of your choice. Cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them in the future. On a miss, their words hit you hard, you'll mark a condition, and the GM will adjust your labels.
That was a lot of words.
I was giving you what your options were, so you're going to want to roll first.
Just roll flat 2d6 and
Yep.
see what happens.
Big miss. Alrighty, so on a miss, their words are going to hit you hard. What he said sank in, so I'm going to go ahead and shift your savior up, your danger down, and you will mark a condition. I think... Do you want to be angry or insecure about what he said? Jay?
Guilty could also work.
Guilty could also... Ooh, that's actually good. Do you want to be angry or guilty about what he said? And yes, make sure you mark your potential when you miss.
Probably guilty.
Okay, so we're going to tack on your guilty condition. Make sure you mark a potential down in the tick boxes so that you have it. There was another miss.
Yeah,
Hummingbird. Make sure you mark yours Hummingbird if you didn't already.
Yep, I did.
Alrighty, great. Because the potential is your experience trackers. So while you guys did awesome, he didn't really gain anything. All right, so yeah, everybody sees Agent Johannes grill into Azrael, and he's giving this lecture about how a cape should be, and what she was doing was really dangerous, and she shouldn't be so eager to act like a vigilante or a hood. And you're all watching her get berated, and you can see... Well, tell us how does she react guiltily, because it needs to hit you really hard. What happens when she's done, basically laying into you as this authority figure?
I stop making eye contact as he's talking and just kind of look down to the side, and I'm not slouching or anything, but I just look away, and after a moment, I kind of like think on my doom and like what that inevitability is, and I kind of like turn around and storm away
So
to the
she
candy.
to the what? I didn't hear the last thing.
Yeah, after he finished, I stay for the whole thing, but after he finishes, I spin around and storm off.
Okay, so the three of you, as he finishes, and he's just like, "Well, what do you have to say for yourself?" And she basically turns on her heels and walks off, and the guilt is apparent on her. And he looks over between Hummingbird Arena and the Liam, and he's just like, "You guys should really keep an eye on her. We would hate to see another potential hero fall to becoming a hood. It's never a good thing."
Well, as much as we appreciate your lecture, Agent, we are a team. We will deal with this as well. Now, do you have anything else, or are we free to go?
Aegis will handle the wrap up here. Despite my words, I want to express the city's gratitude. Thank you all. Even Asriel, we thank you all for intervening when you did to stop this robbery. You all are an asset and greatly valued. And he like reaches into his coat and he takes out his sunglasses and he brings them up and puts them over his eyes and he says, "Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a lot of paperwork to fill out for all of this damage."
Well, I'm sure we'll see you again, Agent.
Hopefully not too soon. And he says it with a smile, not like a condescending kind of jerky thing. It was one of those where it's like, yeah, we're gonna see each other again because this is our work and you're heroes and I'm Aegis. We'll see each other soon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and so he nods and he bids you all farewell, and he heads up into the bank, which leaves the three of you and Asriel, who has stormed off to go tend to herself. So what does everybody do now that we have some time?
I smack Liam upside the head.
Immediately whap him. Yep.
Are you serious? You could keep the powers under control at the very end. That was almost perfect.
I'm sorry, I tried.
I don't think
I'd like to
perfection
see
is...
you take a truck.
I would jump over it.
It's like,
Yeah. Arena like interposes herself between the two. It's just like, okay, we can do this, but not here.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's go find Dazriel.
Yes, let's go find our friends and head back to the hideout, huh? Let's go.
yes.
And Arena turns and heads out of the bank.
Mm-hmm. Asriel, where would you have head after getting this hard grilling?
I'd probably look for a place alone. I'm sure they'll have a chance to find me before I get there, but
what is
I'm
it?
probably. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, where is it that you're heading though? Like, describe for us her heading off to go deal with this emotions and sensations.
I'm probably heading in the direction of the park, where I like to disappear to.
Okay, so you would have been heading to the park. I imagine that probably would have been not a short walk, so they would have time to catch up to you. And are you moving quickly to get there? Or are you just taking your time? Like, see if I need to have them roll something to try and catch up to you.
I'm probably moving quickly at first, but slow down after a while as I gradually taking a moment to breathe.
Alrighty. Let me do this then. I'll have Arena roll against Azriel. Just do the 2d6s each, and whoever rolls higher will determine if they catch up to you in time or not.
Okay.
Because she says she's
I'd
kind of...
like to use my telepathy ability and try to contact Azriel.
That's also an option.
We also all have communicators.
That is also true. I mean, he can just invade her mind if he really wants to.
Yeah, it's also fair.
But yes, you do have
To be
the
fair, I
what
forgot
do your
about
what do your
communicators.
communicators look like, guys?
It's a good question. I mean, Arena's communicator is like because she's currently in her mech, like it's integrated into her heads-up display. But usually, it's like
Is it your Lady Tuesday? It has like a soothing lady voice. Incoming call, Arena.
Yeah, that is the voice that it has.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But outside of the mech, because she's gonna get out of the mech soon enough. It's like a it's a like kind of a like an over the ear like thing that clips behind your ear, and then there's also a like pager, like kind of like half the size of a pager thing that like clips to your belt or something, that like is the communicator, and like the communicator itself like behind your ear like lights up like a green when it's active. So, yeah.
I like it. So everybody has one of these pagers and earpieces then? Alrighty. So are we reaching out to her directly? Or
Yeah,
are we...
sure. Or, I mean, if Liam wants to do telepathy, because Arena will be like, will basically go to and be like, she's her, I guess, Zoe. Just,
What is
we should talk. I know you want to be alone right now, but I think it's important. We're a team. We need to talk about these things.
All right.
Meet at the hideout?
I'll be there.
Excellent. Alright. Turns the rest group, just like, we're going to the hideout. She'll meet us there. Let's go.
As they're walking, Hummingbird just comments, "Yeah, I know. We all have the communicators. They're all open mic.
just looks
Heard
back.
we heard all of that."
Just looks back. Just like, just.
Just,
Really have
Alright.
to have a clip for everything, don't you?
Does my mind actually get invaded?
No, I forgot we had the communicators.
Okay.
But Liam would have known that.
Liam will remember this.
Arena, you know the answer to that question.
You can't see it, but I'm rolling my eyes right now.
No, yeah, I know.
Alrighty, so it's not too long before you all start to arrive and filter into the hideout. So that becomes the next big question. What does this awesome hideout look like? Is it tell us about this hideout that Steel Gunner had provided for you.
It is, cause Steel Gunner is like, you know, a freaking 80s, 90s anti-hero. It's like, it was a old mechanic shop that's been converted into this thing. So like, on the outside, it looks kinda dumpy. Like, it's got the metal, corrugated metal garage doors. And like, it's, the paint that's on the building kinda washed out. But when you go inside of it, it's more it's a bit higher tech. basically. There's like there are it's like there are a few places where it's like obvious that are cameras, but most of the security systems that are part of it are very well hidden and are just they're just if you're like in chart basically if this is your hideout, you can basically just see you will see and know if anybody is in there.
Yeah.
At any time.
You've got cool systems and stuff in place to make sure it's all.
Yeah, and there's there's some robots. There's like a couple of like Tony Stark style like arms, and also there are a few more humanoid robots that you can use as like punching bags basically for training. There we go. Robots. Yeah, training purposes. And there's like a robot that takes care of like making sure the place is tidied up, that kind of thing. There's probably like 8 robots in there or something. Yeah, it's otherwise kind of like it's kind of dusty all the time. Because it's in an old building, it's more musty, I guess. But yeah, it has that feel of a cross between a mechanic shop and a old school boxing gym. So, yeah, that's where we hang out, I guess.
And are there rooms and stuff for everybody here?
No, you sleep on the floor.
I mean,
clearly Liam doesn't have a room for being a smartass. He sleeps in the gutter.
Yeah, exactly. If people want to have, there's probably space here to like sleep and stuff if you need to, but it's not going to be anything like especially comfortable.
Okay, so it's very much just a meet-up place to do work, and then everybody goes home.
Yeah, it's exactly like arena. Like Parisa doesn't live here. Like
gotcha.
she goes home. Yeah, and I think like Steel Gunner was like very much like, yeah, I live in the gym all the time, but like Parisa was like, are you kidding me?
I have a loft above the gym. It's just got my cot, and that's it.
Oh,
I imagine he's a chain smoker now, just because of that voice.
Probably. Bet he is. Jeez. How mighty have fallen. I mean, he's still around.
He's still around. He still does stuff. Just off in the distance, there's an explosion, and you're like, there he is.
So, yeah.
Alive another day.
Yeah, I think we all... I don't know when Azrael gets there, when Zoe gets there, but I imagine...
When do you arrive?
3 of us get there at the same time.
Yeah, when do you arrive, Azrael?
Was it on the way to where I was going, or not?
That is a great question. Is it on the way?
Since out from the base.
Probably not. So I get there a little bit after.
All right. So it's the three of us for a bit until Zoe shows up. Arena's standard thing when she comes back from doing crime fighting is to like obviously get out of her mech suit and put it back, because it has a garage dedicated to it. And then like stretches a bit, does some stretches. Just like looks around let Liam and Hummingbird just like, so that was interesting.
He blew up the bank.
Fuck off, Bird. I did not.
You blew up the bank.
Last I thought it was still standing.
You broke an old lady's hip.
That was your grandmother.
That was your grandmother. I have no
idea who this
that claim.
Look, you're both right. You are both right. Now, it would obviously, Liam, it would be better for all of us getting control of your powers, and I know you're working on that. You all are in the way, but we did do some good things. Just we'll need to talk to Zoe when she gets here. Like, Just like puts her head in her hands, just like.
She did the thing again, where she just drinks people with her hands.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I
We
have.
aren't killers. We aren't supposed to be.
No, we're not. Which is why this is as bad for me as it is for the rest of you and all of us. If this keeps happening, it's going to be a case of, can we be a team? Like, it's Aegis is going to show up and it's a whole thing. But she is our friend, and she is a part of this team, and I think that we can make a change for the better. I think it can happen. I don't know about the rest of you, but we have to at least try.
Yeah, I'll try. I've known her since school, so I just didn't think she could do stuff like that and kind of keep on going.
Drink them like a Capri Sun.
Like a Capri Sun. Man, it was really good when they invented a way for the straws to get inserted much easier. High-tech worlds are great.
Mm-hmm. It's Capri Suns. I mean, the fridge is over there. If you're really that thirsty.
I am.
Go
When
for
I'm
it.
walking in, when I walk in, I'm struggling to open a Capri Sun with a straw.
And she just smashes it.
God damn it!
Speak of the Capri Sun. Welcome in. You have a nice
Hey,
walk.
Zoe.
Yeah. I hold it over to Liam. Can you get this for me?
I'll do the Capri Sun. I'll make it so
I want you to roll for it.
I want you to roll for it.
I want you to roll to get the Capri Sun.
I guess, it would be Pierce the Mask.
It would, which is a great time to have that roll come up.
It wouldn't be Pierce the Mask at all, but whatever.
No, walking in on the situation. If she's like suspect about what's going on, she can try and pierce the mask and ask some questions. Like, are you guys being secretive about your conversation before she comes in?
I don't think I mean, the conversation kind of moved on, but Paris is not being like,
Not being weird about it.
Yeah.
Okay, we probably don't need to roll it then.
I mean, she can still roll it to be like, hey, like
Get some information.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
What,
Why
what is-
don't you roll a pierce the mask then, so we can have an example at least in this first session. When you pierce someone's mask to see the person beneath, roll plus mundane, that new ability that got marked up. On a 10 plus, you get to ask 3 questions. On a 7-9, you ask 1.
Get some insight on us.
You can get some insight on one of them. Who are you specifically targeting for this? I think you said Liam, right? Was that serious, or did you want to shift it to someone else?
I'll put it on.
No, you're Asriel. I heard the Z.
I'll put it on Arena since.
Okay, so
She probably
you have options of questions like, what are they planning? What do they want me to do? What do you intend to do? How could I get your character to blank, or how could I gain influence over them? And in this case, you'd
What
be
was the
posting.
second?
What does Arena want you to do? And so this question would be posed directly to Arena, so Arena would be the one to answer it.
Yeah, what does Arena want me to do?
She wants you to open up and talk about like your feelings, basically.
They have the like. You walk into this place and they're all situated in like a half circle that looks like reminiscent of one of those intervention scenes. And I
And,
imagine
like,
Arena probably
Oh, no.
has like a friendly smile and is like, "Hey, why don't you sit down, buddy? Let's talk."
Yeah.
So yeah, she wants you to open up so that you all can have a nice conversation about what happened. And now let's address that conversation. Also,
So?
I just saw the blue girl, the little slight tweak that somebody did to her, and God, it's horrifying.
I'm curious.
I just.
That was
I just-
me at first. And
Yeah,
then
I
and
put
then
it
I
back.
erased it. And
I put it back because it was hysterical.
Oh, God.
It puts a horrible context to that image.
And then I did like all this.
Oh. Yeah. Jaina, don't do the thing.
I
Okay.
just love killing people.
But yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. It's just laughing over a pile of dead bodies. Anyways, so you guys are sitting down. The scene kind of pulls in that everybody's talking to Azrael. So let's have that conversation.
And this is the face of the others just staring. I drink the Capri Sun.
There's a slow sip.
And-
You guys need to be talking though.
Yeah,
Just
I know.
stare.
Zoe. Agent Johannes is a little bit forward, but he is right ultimately. It's. How do I put this?
What if he isn't?
You're
I
supposed
mean-
to be guilty.
It's. We are here to save people. Even if they are villainous, in the end of the day, it's not going to be much good if we go around killing everyone. Like, it's not how I want to operate. It's not how we want to operate. It's not. It's hard to be a team together if we have someone who's doing that. No, I mean.
I mean,
It's, I don't. I'm trying to understand what possesses you to do this, really. What, like, I want to know why. There must be a reason, because obviously most people are not gonna go out there with superpowers and say, today, unless they're hoods, today is the day I go and I beat some people up and then drain the life from them like they're a
I'm
Capri
not
Sun.
a hood.
I know you're not a hood.
I glance over to Hummingbird like I'm looking for direction.
I know you're not a hood, Zoe, but I mean, I just saw you kill 2 people. Like,
They were disarmed. They didn't need to die.
They were going to kill other people.
I took their guns away. They weren't gonna kill anybody.
And what about when they get out?
Most thieves are not there to kill people. Most thieves are there to wave around guns so they can get what they want and then leave. I've had to learn this the hard way, considering what Steel Gunner thinks on that subject.
And we have like a cutaway where he's like, "Yep, kill them all," and then it pans back.
It just comes out of the communicator.
See? Open mic. What did I tell you?
I want you... I want You are a part of this team. We are your friends, but it's hard to it's hard to not be your friend, but to be with someone when when we're not on the same page. Huh? No?
We don't want to see you go down this path.
don't want I don't want to kill anyone, but sometimes what if you have to do bad things to keep something worse from happening?
If you're asking my opinion, nothing is worse than going around killing innocent people. But
They weren't innocent.
you know what I mean.
I don't.
The only people who didn't have to die then.
Exactly.
They were disarmed. They could have been easily not killed.
And how do you know?
The cops are on the way. They weren't going to really do anything, especially if they're disarmed.
They had an annoying little bird in their face.
You say that like you know what was gonna happen.
And happened. A car flew at me. I injured a lot of people. I didn't want to do that, and I'm sorry it happened.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Liam injured a lot of people too.
I did try to talk about it. I got shut down.
One thing at a time is what Parisa was trying to do, and just
Nah,
That's
yeah,
true.
it's fine.
I hurt
I'm
less
just
people
here to
than-
stir the pot.
this is not the contest. This isn't a who hurt less people contest.
Besides, Steel Gunner would win anyway. There's no point.
Steel Gunner combined with probably a third of the villains in the city would win that contest. So we're not going to go down misery lane and with the they were worse. This isn't the what did they call it in history class? Brinksmanship contest.
You just
Yeah.
gotta pull back a little, Zoe, at the end is all, and then it'll be fine. You don't have to cut people's hands off.
Maybe just their fingers.
Like maybe a finger, or maybe their gun in half, or
Mhm.
no, that's pretty
I
much
mean, what if she shot Liam's grandmother?
What if she shot Liam's grandmother, guys?
Who?
Oh no. Liam's like, I don't even have a grandmother.
Parisa
that's just impossible. You at least have two.
Parisa crosses her arms. Then we will be dealing with that. But right now, that's not what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the fact that you killed 2 people. That's very serious. We're not speaking in hypotheticals here, we're speaking in real terms. And I hate it as much as everybody else, but we have to talk about it.
There's no reason to. I'm sorry. And I start to turn away.
I am going to attempt a comfort or support roll. on
Yeah, I like it. All right.
How? What do you do?
Zoe. So Zoe, or Amy goes up and puts a hand on Zoe's shoulder and says, "Hey, nobody wants you to leave the team. Like, we all like you. I mean, we've been friends forever, and we just want to understand so that we can help you, find a better way." Yeah. So
And when
I'm
you
gonna-
comfort or support someone, roll plus mundane. On a hit, they hear you. They mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels if they open up to you. So basically, they'll roll, and if it succeeds, you react in a way that accepts what's going on, and you'll open up. On a 10 plus, you can also add a team to the pool or clear a condition of yourself. But if it misses, then you don't have to accept it. You can continue on feeling the way you do.
Oh, damn.
Full hit.
we're friends. Be friends with me.
Wow.
So since you don't have a condition to clear, I'm assuming you want a team pool.
Yeah, I'll add one to the team pool. And
Look at you adding on to the team pool twice now, like a
Yeah.
boss.
And Zoe, Zoe gets to
yes.
decide.
Yeah, Zoe, you get to
So-
decide between marking a potential, clearing a condition, or shifting your labels as you see fit.
Clear the condition, I guess.
Okay, so how does show us, like in character, how Zoe reacts to what she's saying and how it alleviates that guilt.
So I kind of like pause and I'm just still facing away, but I kind of glance back over after she finishes talking. And there's just like a sad look. And then I reach out and give her a hug, and then I say quietly, because I don't want the other two. You're the only one who knows about me.
I give her a big hug back, but I won't say anything because Amy's incredibly loud. Yeah, everything's fine.
Totally.
we'll work on it. Just like Liam has to work on not exploding everything in a 10-mile radius.
Oh,
As the
Try.
two of you are hugging, this would be when Amy's phone buzzes, realizing that she's probably had it on vibrate for a while now. But it buzzes in her pocket.
Oh no! I'm gonna check
job.
my watch. I'm gonna check my watch. Am I late?
You are, I would say, between all of that, doing the wrap up for the crime, getting back, having your talk, you're about going on 2 hours late.
Oh crap! She's just like swiftly putting her costume back on. It's like, oh crap! I'm late. Why do I keep getting wrapped up in this?
Mm-hmm. When you check your phone, you see that there are four voicemails waiting for you.
Oh no.
Liam, quick! Help get her to the place. You can teleport, can't you?
Can you teleport to other people? Is that something? you can do?
No.
I don't want him to teleport. Good idea, Zoe. But I've seen him teleport like with half of his clothes missing. So no thanks.
The lower half.
Yeah, just. Oh. Okay. That. I don't know if I want to hear that story. Go.
You don't.
Get out of here. Go.
So
Why are you still
she
here?
She gets a costume back on, and I assume that the team base is kind of like on a tall building.
Did you have your costume
Maybe.
off while talking to them? I thought some of them don't
Just
know
had
that
the
you-
I don't
mask on.
Yeah.
Oh, I think she she probably just like had her mask. I don't know. Yeah, she probably had her costume on.
Okay. Because that's important, man. Don't forget you got secrets to keep.
That's her
That's true.
whole character.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, no, she had her mask on. So the good thing is, that doesn't change because technically, if I have my mask on, my mundane would be 0. but it wouldn't matter because I got a 9 and I have one. I have an influence over Zoe, so that would have made it a 10 anyway. So that
You would have been fine.
that comfort roll would have been fine. Anyway, so she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll talk to you guys later," and then she just books it.
Yeah. The important thing about the mask is it's once per session you use it to switch your mundane with your mask's label.
Oh.
Yeah. So it goes back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like what once for the entirety of that scene that the thing was happening.
Once
so
per session.
yeah.
Switch your mask when you go. Okay. Yeah, so she runs. She kind of like goes out probably an entrance that she specifically uses to kind of like leap and use her wingsuit to kind of fly, glide, fall with style, really, to get to her work. Probably landing in an alleyway so that she can change back. And then realizes, oh crap, I left my bag in the building by the bank, so she's like, oh god damn it. So she has to run back into work 2 hours late without her uniform.
Yep. All right, so we're at a 2-hour mark. Let's pause here for a break.
Sounds good.
All right. So everybody take 5. I need to switch over the break screen. We will take 5, and we will come back, and we will continue for another hour, and then we'll wrap up.
All right.
So stick around, folks. This is fun. It's real fun so far.
Yep.
We will be back with more mass. Oh, that's way
I'll
too
be
big.
back.
Yeah, that's what she said.
In the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm forgetting something.
I'm totally forgetting something. No. Let's try again. Transform. Switch to screen. There we go. Alright, I'm going to be right back.
I mean, it's cool that we're hitting all these rolls, but I kind of want to miss a couple so that I can get some XP going on. I'm back.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thanks, Bird.
Why'd you go explode?
Useful.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
No, you're not.
I've also returned.
You're also not back.
Welcome back.
I was gonna go find some food, but apparently there's pizza on the way, so I guess
gonna
I'll
what?
wait. I was gonna find food, but apparently there's pizza on the way, so I will just wait.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. What
I
kind
have
of
food.
I don't know what kind of pizza yet, but
surprise pizza?
surprise pizza is always the best pizza. Also, my folks are out there watching some show, and Jesus Christ, it's horrifying. It's like called like 911 or something, and it's like one of those rescue shows, but it's this like Evil Knievel looking guy is like preparing his stunt car to do a thing, and he's arguing with his wife about how he needs to retire, and he's old and he's got like really long hair, and while he's working on the engine, he tells the wife to start up the engine, and his hair gets caught in the turbines, and they don't hold back on the graphicness of the man getting scalped.
Oof.
And then the rescue team is there, and we're like, we're gonna have to cut the car apart to get you out. And it's like, you know, he's not dead, he's stuck there, and so it's like they're trying to get him out of this car, and like every time like he starts arguing with his wife, she'll like hit him and he'll flinch, and like they just show like the horrible shock value, like here's the shot of his open skull and here's some squirts, and it's like
Oof.
it's like unnecessary gore for the shock value of it.
Yeah,
That one.
sounds like it.
Just want to say I'm having a great time.
Oh, thank you. I was going to ask how this was going for people.
It's been fun. It's been good.
I've been having fun.
We stopped a bank robbery. We talked about our feelings.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically everything that Mask is. You do something cool, you talk about your feelings, you know, some drama
I get
happens.
called basically a piece of shit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Bird really doesn't like me.
Oh, poor Bird. She's late. She's so late.
Hey, don't do this to Hummingbird. Hummingbird's great.
Bird is great.
She's mean.
That's not her fault. Is Shay not back yet?
Hummingbird
Doesn't
is
sound like it.
definitively the nicest person in this group.
She's such a sweetheart.
She is.
I was raised better than this.
You're raised like a normal person, unlike the rest of us.
I'm basically a lab experiment.
Yeah.
Are you now?
Basically, I'm working with a scientist to try to figure out what causes the powers and how to control them with, basically.
Risa just goes to boarding school, which is probably a whole thing with, like, you know, being distant from her parents and stuff. But, and also Shinobu Arrington, aka Steel Gunner.
Steel Gunner.
It's apparently.
I'm definitely supposed to be Japanese, but I've got this deep American action hero voice.
Look,
Just do Solid Snake.
Yeah.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
I am terrible at impressions.
Arena. I'm trying to sneak around.
I'm dummy
I'm
thick.
dummy thick.
Arena.
My ass cheeks. You're learning the hoods.
Arena, I need you to go pick up 40 pizzas. I'm carbo loading for another mission.
He stole 40 cakes. That's 4 tens. And that's terrible. Yeah, but yeah, Shinobu Arrington. I mean, this is. I was going off the basis, of course, because this ended up being more like a comic book movie / TV show than a comic book. Because a comic book, we don't know what their voice actually sounds like.
Yeah. This is why I like doing the adult Kobold, everything's a TV show approach now.
Yeah,
It's such
It's
a
like-
cool narrative framing thing, and it lets everybody have fun with it, and I can do my stupid cutaway gags.
we also get to have cool.
I like the cutaway gags.
the cutaway gags are great. That and like the transition sequences because like we have like transformation sequences and like
Yeah.
the running into a building and running out of the building as a different person.
Yep. You
That's
gotta
a
have those moments.
Like, all right, I'm a normal person now. I'm a super.
I'm gonna get to the
Ren,
point where
Oh,
I
welcome
just
back.
oh, I've been here a while. I was just listening
Oh.
to you the whole time.
I asked if you were back, and I didn't get a response.
I wasn't there then.
Oh my god. I'm gonna hug you so hard later.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
But-
Right.
You get to a point where I just like walk by a lamppost and it's like normal me on one side, and then as I walk by on the other side, it's just fully cut.
Yeah. And there's probably, I would say, even to make that cooler, like as you're walking by the lamppost and you go through it, you see like the sun itself doesn't move in the sky, but you see the shadow shift of the lamppost moves with it. So it's like as you're walking in, the shadow like moves in the opposite direction to show that there was like a cool displacement. And then it goes back to normal after you're gone. But it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, reality also did a cool thing and shifted because you're the doomed and you're there to make everything not. Yeah. It'd be cool.
That's just it. There to make everything not. Period.
Period.
Period. Dot dot dot.
I mean,
Question
hey,
mark?
that could be it. That could be your thing. Its goal is to make everything not. I'm writing that down. Like, that would be just like an evil cosmic villain's line. It's like, I am here to make everything not.
Not.
Oh, okay, negative man.
Yeah, basically. It's the
Arena.
Noid.
Arena, leave the quips to me, please.
No.
Yeah, your guys' next villain is just the Noid. He's here to ruin pizzas, guys.
No.
I say that as the
The
doorbell rings for my pizza to arrive.
The entire city just opens arms. There's like tanks in the streets and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Get the fuck out, Noid!
Martial lockdown.
Martial lockdown. Alrighty. Since we closed on Hummingbird realizing she's late, and we did a scene for Asriel, let's touch on what Liam would be doing as the headquarters talk and everything wraps up. What would you be doing now that it's gone from late afternoon to early evening? What is
Sorry, you kind of
Liam's...
cut out there for me.
Yeah, my phone is charging interference. So, as Hummingbird leaves to go tend to her problems, it looks like the conversation is kind of winding down now that Asriel's been calmed and brought back. It's going into early evening. What does Liam do for the rest of his day? What does his evening routine look like?
If around, he'll ask her if she wants to do some sparring.
Yeah, Parisa is down. She is down because she was actually gonna like finish doing some like because like that was a fight, but like it was quick. So she's got she's got some more energy left in her. So yeah, let's spar.
So the two of you will spar. All right. I don't think we need rolls for this.
Oh, she probably whips me.
Yeah, I mean,
She is trained in Krav
she is fully trained, but how well trained is Liam?
Not.
Not at all. So you're like, hey, want to spar? She's like, you mean get your ass kicked? And it's probably like an hour session of you just getting thrown around and her having to pull punches because Krav Maga usually doesn't pull punches. Um,
She's probably using more her capoeira than she is Krav Maga.
oh, okay. So she's dancing
And, like,
around. She's dancing around you and making, and she's making you look incredibly foolish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
more transition than actual trying to go all out.
yeah. I imagine you're like you would be the since you know you can't go toe to toe with her. You're probably the guy holding the punching gloves and stuff for her to land all her strikes and stuff as you're working together. But let's break down this scene. What are you guys doing as you're hanging out and talking with one another?
Yeah, she's like this is probably like a breather in the middle of the session. She's like getting just like, all right, do a breather. She's like doing a little bit like stretching in between and like drink some water. It's like, so what happened back there? Want to talk about it?
I was trying to stop a guy using my powers, and I didn't expect the car, so I lashed out.
I mean, none of us really expected the car, to be fair. Fair enough, I guess. Is it then? I did. Look, I knew there was the driver, but I didn't think they were gonna drive up the steps of the bank and
Drive the car into us.
I thought that, the driver would do the thing of like, wait, all of my friends are getting wrecked. I'm gonna leave so I don't get arrested. Nah, doing the opposite.
No, let's do the
Brent, what
opposite.
happened to the driver? Did he?
I imagine he got arrested, but he was basically knocked out when he collided the van into you.
Okay.
So, I obviously don't really know how your powers really work, but of course your sparring needs work. That's neither here nor there. How is it? Was it something you're feeling? Is it obviously not surprise from a van, but what is it with you?
What's with you, man?
I'm trying to pierce the mask. If that was
Ooh,
enough.
roll it. Roll that
Ooh.
pierce the mask.
Yeah, I'm not very good at it, but I'm gonna try anyway.
Do it, nerd. Pierce that mask.
All right, I get it.
I will guarantee you're better at mundane than me.
I have +1 because of influence over you. I got an 8. Oh, that's
And
not
an
too
8.
bad.
So 8 gives
I get to ask one question.
Go ahead and ask that question.
How could I get your character to open up to me about what happened?
What would be the best way to get Liam to open up to her?
Hmm.
I wasn't expecting this.
So roll with it, boyo.
Yeah.
That is the best part of this game is you just got to adapt and roll.
Yep.
I'm drawing a blank.
Just something as simple as like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Going easy on him for the sparring, or like, just understand, like being like, I understand where you are with this. I'm not trying to like get at you, that kind of thing. Just reassuring him could be a thing.
Yeah, reassuring would probably be the best way.
Okay, cool. So Parisa puts a hand on a hand on Helium's shoulder, just like, look, we're friends. I want you to be as part of the team like everybody else. And to do that, I think we need to understand each other. So what happened?
I try to control the emotions during these situations, but I was scared I was going to die.
Hmm. That's a fair point there. Well, I'm not a psychiatrist or anything, but I think sparring. Obviously, you do the sparring here must help, right? Or is it something else that you're here for then?
Wiggles her eyebrows.
No. No. Not yet, maybe. We'll see. We'll see where it goes.
I want to not have to rely on my powers.
All right. See? That I can help you with. Come on, let's go.
And then she proceeds to kick your butt for several more minutes.
That's the scene, unless because I don't have anything else. But
Okay.
if
Yeah,
Liam has something else.
I think that's a good place to end it.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll just double up that scene for the two of you, since the two of you were doing that. Asriel, since I'll remember real names. Amy. Everybody has basically an A name except for Liam, who fucking broke the name scheme. Amy.
Look, just I have. Is this what happened? Just have a It's only because all the hero names are very A names. It's the fact that all the real names are not.
Yeah, it's true.
I put a lot of thought into mine.
I mean, hey.
Oh, it's a good name.
It fits for your theme.
It's solid.
It is solid. It's solid.
Oh, do you actually know what it is?
It's an archangel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, so Zoe, since Amy has to do her school or her work thing, and that's probably going to be a longer scene, we'll do another one with you. What do you do after you guys have your conversation and Amy says she has to take off and leave?
My original plan was to go to my sanctuary, but I think I changed that idea when I realized that that Amy was helping me, and she ended up being late to work. So I kind of go to the cafe where she works, and I do this sometimes, but I always ask for Amy as my waitress. Like one of those things, like returning customers just like them. So just to try and help her out, and then I take out and do some schoolwork.
Okay.
Stuff while I'm there.
Well, I guess that means we'll pull Amy into the scene then. Amy, you arrive before Zoe gets there, so we'll have to rewind and handle that. You arrive at work 2 hours late and without your uniform. The manager on duty is the one who usually covers the night shift with you. It's an older woman. It's an older woman. She's got her hair done up in like a nice beehive. It's a very like honey blonde looking, and she says, "Well, you have some nerve showing up 2 hours late. Half expected you to just be a no-show."
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Just things got way out of hand. I was on my way, and then I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm super sorry.
You tend to be real sorry a lot often. You plan on finishing the shift that you're late for, or you just here to make excuses?
No, I'll finish. Do we have any of the spare uniforms?
And she gives you a hard look, and she says, "In the back. You can borrow Janet's. I know it's a size too small, but you'll have to make do since you were too busy to remember your own uniform." And she's just spending some time tearing into you about being late.
Yep, it's perfectly understandable, and Amy will take it because she knows that she was late and she deserves it.
John went ahead and covered the part of your shift. He's keeping he's keeping all your tips that he's earned that time. It's only fair.
That's fair.
And Amy,
Yeah.
there's going to be a demerit on your review. And I hope we don't have to keep talking about this now.
I'll do better.
Mm-hmm.
Just hangs her head and goes and gets in uniform.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's about 10-15 minutes later, after you've changed into this too small uniform, that the little bell of the diner jingles, and Amy in her normal outfit walks through, and the same woman walks up, and you see that on her name tag it says Joyce, and she smiles and she says, "Well, welcome. You can go ahead and find a seat wherever you like."
Thanks. Amy in today?
And she snorts for a moment and she says, "For what good it is, yeah, she is."
I mean, she's my favorite waitress.
Well, you're lucky you showed up when you did then, or else you would have missed her during her shift. And she, gives a sidelong look to where Amy is.
I could just
Feel the daggers.
I don't need super senses to feel those daggers.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sure she's got a lot going on. I'll take a seat.
You find a nice empty booth, which leaves the two of you. And the music cut out again. What the hell, Fazboat? Okay. Go ahead and do your guys' scene, talking, ordering food, and...
Amy, you remember my favorite, right?
What is your favorite?
The hot cocoa. I like the hot cocoa. It's really good.
So you order one hot cocoa,
Aw. Makes me feel like a kid again.
and you give a 200% gratuity for the hot cocoa.
I do, actually.
So,
I get a hot cocoa and I get like a small, because I don't eat too much, but I get a small snacky bit, and I take out books and start doing some homework. I thoughtfully just mostly random circles and shapes, and then continue doing schoolwork, and then nibbling, and then ordering another hot cocoa because it comforts me, and then, hey, Amy, sorry about.
okay, so Fazbo is just dead.
I killed him.
I mean, apparently Azrael killed them.
I just shot
Azrael,
him.
how could you?
Okay, continue. Sorry.
Sorry, I got you late.
I mean, it was the, bank error. It happens. It's fine.
I mean, if you didn't have to stop for me, you'd have been able to get here on time. Is this the second or the third time?
I'm afraid to ask, so I'm not going to. It's fine, really. I'll work through it.
Do you need any help?
No, but thanks. You got a whole lot more stuff to worry about than me.
No, sometimes it's nicer not to worry about it.
Have you thought about
Absolutely.
getting a job somewhere? I mean, I don't recommend getting one here because I don't think I'm going to be employed too much longer.
Hmm.
I'm just saying it might keep your mind off of things.
Where do you think?
I think you'd do good in a library.
Hmm. Maybe I can do that.
Oh, it's something to think about anyway.
Oh, I hope coming here helps, put you in a better.
Sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
I hope me coming here helps put you in a better light.
Oh, well,
You got a lot to judge.
yeah, but I'm managing.
Okay.
It's all part of the call, right?
I guess so. And I set down a hefty tip.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
No problem.
All right.
Question now.
Yeah.
Why do you work here? Aren't your parents loaded?
They are, in fact, incredibly well off.
Incredibly.
Well off. You guys are. One of your mothers is a premier scientist, and I don't know what Lucy does.
Well, I'll think of something for that later. She probably is like an assistant. Probably. Well, I'm at that age where I gotta make it on my own. No more allowance. Can't bother. Can't really bother Parisha to upgrade things.
What do you think you'll major in once we get to college?
Whew. I haven't even thought about college. Oh, I think I have to start applying to that, don't I?
Yeah.
You haven't been doing that already?
Leave me alone, voice of mom in my head. There's just a lot of stuff going on with all of this. It's hard to keep track of everything. But I'll start looking and stuff. I don't know. Mom would probably be happy if I got into some sort of science.
I sure would.
Leave me alone, Ghost Bob! How about you? Thinking of anything interesting?
No. I'd like to be able to do something where I can guide or help people.
To their doom.
Guide them to their doom.
Oh, well that's alright.
I don't really say that.
I mean, if you really wanted to, you can get into some of those spooky occult classes. You'd be a shoo-in to get an easy A, and you probably could be your own class project.
Yeah, but seriously though, I'd like to do something where people like having me around, not just scared or
I hate to break it to you,
rock real
Zoe.
happy.
I hate to break it to you, Zoe, but you're already doing that because the three of us are happy that you're around.
Zoe, you hear the voice in the back of your head go, "But they should worship you."
Maybe someday. Glad I have you all, though. Especially you.
Hey, that's what friends are for. I mean, it's pretty hard not to be friends for life when you've had as many crazy sleepovers as we have, where you get stuck in one of Mom's inventions and we have to spend the entire night trying to figure out how to get your head out of it.
Oh, that went in a different direction than I thought.
I know. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. There was some weird stuff they had inside that machine.
Yeah. I know. But really, Zoe, I wouldn't worry about it. And anything you decide to do, I'm sure you're going to be good at.
Alright.
Now, I think I'm getting the stink eye from Joyce, so I have to go get some other tables. But,
I'll be here a little longer.
alright. You know, stay as long as you want. I'll probably be heading home after my shift. Probably after I stay longer than my
Make up
normal
for all
shift.
of my lost money.
Yeah, to make up for all of my lost time.
And so, Amy, you probably spend the better part of the evening doing just that. For the sake of my own interest, roll plus mundane for me. You have a good night trying to make up for all of the lost time, and Jesus Christ, why do you guys not roll this well in any other games we play?
Don't know.
Like tomorrow, this will be the exact opposite while we're playing Things from the Flood. It will be just all downhill, and everyone will be like, "Can we just go back to Mass?" Anyways.
That's how it is all the time for my characters.
Your character's been rolling great, too!
Yeah, but only when she has, like, 3 conditions.
I mean, you didn't have any conditions.
Otherwise, it's really bad.
Yeah. But Amy, you go back to work, and for the sake of this, you stay busy. The diner is pretty populated this evening, and you are not able to check in on Zoe as much as you'd probably like, but you do periodically check in, refill the hot cocoa for the time that she's there. But while this is all happening, Zoe, your phone beeps with a text message.
Oh, me? Sorry.
Yeah, you, Zoe. Your phone beeps with a text message.
Check it.
You check it. You recognize.
Yes.
No, it's
Okay.
it's a new number. You haven't taken it down, but you do remember giving your phone number out to somebody during your first mission with the rest of the group. And basically the message says, hi, this is Olivia. You probably don't remember me. It's Olivia Gutierrez. And the name Gutierrez does ring a bell because it's the name of the mayor. And it says, I was wondering if you were available to go out this Friday. And it's like Wednesday now. And you guys probably rescued her like 2 weeks ago, and this is the first you're hearing from her.
I will respond. Sounds like fun. Do you have a when and where? And should I wear the mask? No, probably not that last part.
Should I wear the mask? And I think our closing scene, since we're getting to 3 hours, is probably the two of you texting back and forth, and it sounds like as the messages are being passed around, that there's some casual conversation. She does give you the name of a really nice restaurant, probably one that is well outside of your price range, and in the upper side of Halcyon City, the nicer section. It's probably the kind of place that Amy's family could get you into with a reservation.
I know if I'm asking for help.
It's a you could have a reservation through her family because they're able to afford it. But it's the mayor's daughter asking you if you want to go to dinner to this place, so she probably already has a reservation or can walk in when she pleases. As the mayor's daughter. But yeah, so she sets up a time and a date for you. It would be Friday at 8, and she says, do you actually include the mask question? Because she hasn't seen you without it.
Yes.
And you probably get the last message, and it's like the closing shot of the camera overhead, and it says, it might be best if you do wear it. You have your identity to protect after all, and we have appearances to keep up, winky face.
Okay.
Just okay, and she just gives a little soft sigh of relief.
I give, I imagine I'm so used to doing like emo emojis, so I just do a smile emoji, and I'm like, this feels weird.
For my amusement, roll me a plus mundane real quick.
Oh God.
Hey, look at it like this. There's a chance to get a little potential at the end of the map.
It's true.
At the end of the night.
Hit. All right, so it's a minor hit. Yeah, you're like, oh God, what emojis do I use? You do put like, you put the. I'm just trying to find the basic emojis here. You put like the basic smile, like a happy cat face. You accidentally put an eggplant in there, and then you put a shoe for some reason, and it doesn't, get a weird response, but she does send you back like one of the like laughing faces, like it was amusing. And I think with that, the evening kind of closes out with like a split shot of you looking at your phone while Amy's rushing around trying to take care of people, and then the other shot across the town or across the city at the headquarters where Liam and Arena are sparring and enjoying the rest of their night, and the camera from its split angles zooms up out of the city itself, through some skyline and like up into the night sky and to the moon, and that's just where the episode ends, and like the credits start to roll as it just cuts out on a nice little scene there. But yeah, that'll be where we stop. This has been our first episode of Mask. We definitely did fly by the seat of our pants there.
We do have something we have to do before we end the session.
Absolutely. That's why we're cutting a few minutes short of 3 hours. So, tell us what we need to wrap up here to finish out.
We have the end of session move.
The end of session move.
It's in peripheral moves.
It's what?
At the end of every session, choose one. It's in peripheral moves.
Ah, okay. Good old peripheral moves. At the end of the session, you guys will choose one.
Each person chooses, you can grow close to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team. So,
Where is it?
it's in peripheral moves.
Which page?
Yeah, I'm trying to find
in the
page.
actual book? Let me find it. It is on page... it's session moves. It's on page... once my PDF goes up.
Page 90.
Page 90.
Thank you. I'm way off.
92 on the PDF. 90 in the book.
Grow closer to the team. Explain who made you feel more welcome. Okay.
Ah, there we go. Oh, it says at the start of every session.
At the start of every session, the GM adds one team to the pool. At the end of every session,
there we go.
choose one.
All right, so we'll go in order then. Since you started it off, Arena, we'll go back to you. So, at the end of the session, you can choose one.
I think I grew into my own image of myself. I think especially dealing with Agent Johannes, and like trying to be like, hey, we're here to be a team, is very much a case of like.
You absolutely handled a lot of leadership stuff today.
Yeah, and I'm like, because if I was going with Steel Gunner's example, Steel Gunner would be like, fuck the team. I'm here to smash things in the face.
Here to smash things and get the job done. If you got a problem with that, you can get out.
Exactly. So I'm
Or
gonna
die by my gun.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna raise my savior and lower my danger.
Alrighty. Alright. And so we'll jump over to Liam, since you finished out the scene with her. You can grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team.
I think I would have grown closer to the team after the talk with Parisa.
A nice sparring session you had with her.
And I don't have a condition. She already has influence over me. So I'm going to mark potential.
Great. You can't stack the influences, right?
So when you gain influence over someone you already have influence over, you get to shift their labels.
Ah.
Yeah, so I actually get to shift your labels. So I think I'm going to shift your, let's see, I'm actually going to do what I shifted. Shift your savior up and shift your danger down.
Alright, so make sure you tweak that one up and tweak that other one down. Because you are getting both. It's the influence and clear a condition or mark potential. So mark your potential, shift those labels. Then we'll jump over to Azriel. Do you grow closer to the team? Do you grow into your own image of yourself? Or do you grow away from the team?
I feel like the most accurate would be grow closer to the team.
I'm in full agreement.
Does it?
You would explain who made you feel welcome. I think it would just be the talk with Amy, since she had that emotional bond moment with you, and then you guys had the scene in the cafe after.
Yeah, probably.
I can shift your labels.
Yep, you can shift the labels and make sure you clear a condition, which I don't think you have anymore, so mark potential, and then shift your labels wherever Rez deems.
Let's see. I don't know what your labels are, actually.
I have 1 freak, 1 danger, 2 savior, -1 superior, 0 mundane.
Yeah, that doesn't really matter. You need to shift it in the direction you think your guys' conversation, because they ultimately just kind of fluctuate forever.
I'm gonna say -1 danger and +1 to freak, because I think the talk would make you less afraid of using your powers, but maybe not as keen on killing people.
Oh no, I'm gonna get beat up soon.
These
Okay.
bonuses don't do a whole lot.
I mean, from what I saw, they do.
They can help, certainly.
Mm-hmm. It just means you change your approach on how you take stuff as your labels shift back and forth.
We also
It's the
didn't use any team, so that also is a thing. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
we have team to throw at things as well.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. And so lastly... oh, sorry.
Well, lastly is me,
Mhm.
so... I think I grew closer to the team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that I respected Arena's leadership and give her an influence.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Alright, I think... What do I want to see you be?
Do you have influence over her already?
Yes, I do. The only person I don't have influence over in the team is, Zoe.
Makes sense.
So I'm going to shift. Let's see. Since we did, the big theme of this was being a hero and protecting people. Shift your savior up and shift your mundane down. Not a normal person. You're a hero.
Oh wow. But my mask embodies savior. You're making me less of a savior.
No, but that means you'll be an actual savior because you only do it once per session. Now every other time you can be a savior anyway. Look at that.
You're a hero all the time, not just
Thanks.
when it's convenient for you.
But it's
Shots
really
fired.
convenient.
Oh,
Damn.
look,
Yeah.
you can get it back. These are
That's
temporary.
true. That's true. And I marked potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right. That was cool.
That was cool. I don't think I need to do like villain scenes where they're like, cut away and it's like you don't actually know what's going on, but here's the hint at the villain thing. But maybe we'll touch on that cinematically later.
You could do that later. Yeah. I mean, right now we probably don't have anybody that's really interested in us.
I mean, there's
And,
definitely someone who is very interested in you, but
Here's the after credit sequence. Yes, my machinations.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was kind of what I was leading towards. It's like, yeah. As a matter of fact, I think there is like a small after credit scene. The camera fades back in, and it's at the police station, and it's like nice white walls, white floor, fluorescent white lights down a hallway, and the camera makes its way towards a room with the label interrogation, and you're hearing the soft footfalls of shoes on the linoleum, and the door opens and you see a man sitting there, and he's got like handcuffs, but they're like over bandaged stumps, which kind of defeats the purpose. But he's sitting at the table. He's got handcuffs on his bandaged stumps, and a well-dressed Hispanic man in a suit with a spiderweb tattoo running up along his neck, turns the opposite chair around and sits with his back up against the chest, and he says, "So, hombre, you are going to tell me that this distraction failed." And then it, like, cuts out to black again, and it just puts up, MASH, we can be heroes. And then that's where, the episode closes out.
Nice.
Yeah.
That guy's gonna
Everyone.
come back. That guy's gonna come back with weaponized hands.
Oh, he's definitely gonna come back.
Of course he is. Where else would he come back?
He's gonna
Either
come.
either that, or he's gonna get like injected with the stuff from Iron Man 3, and he's just gonna shoot fire everywhere.
Oh, and I mean, absolutely, because as we all know, the best villains are made by the heroes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, congratulations, you made a supervillain. He's gonna have cannons attached to his stumps or something crazy, and he's gonna come back and he's gonna be out for vengeance. And yep, he's gonna show up at like the most inopportune times. And
I mean, if we want the real dichotomy, he's gonna come back with sword hands.
oh yeah, absolutely. He's gonna learn how to master the blade too, and he's gonna have sword hands. Exactly, perfect. I love it.
How does he eat?
Yeah.
Don't ask
The
questions.
sword.
You know the
Oh
answers.
no, Wan, you're raiding as we're ending. Hi Wan, thank you for the raid. Regardless, we were wrapping up today our superhero game. I appreciate your raid, Wan. Yeah, like great timing. I'll kick you guys over to another spot because I know Trinket started up, so we'll go over to Trinket. But I do appreciate the stop by in the raid. Everybody thank the birdie for raiding.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Mama.
Hi, Raiders.
Hello, Raiders. Alright, we're gonna go over and give Trinket some love since we're wrapping down. But feel free to stop by next week. We play this at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, and it's Mass, a fun-filled teen drama superhero game. Until next time, guys, have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.